everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Whitney, and today is the first day of Vlogmas. Yes, your girl is, what the fuck is that? Y'all see that purple shit? Hopefully y'all don't see it. It might be a reflection of my fly stuff, but anyway, okay, my bad. Today, yes, I am doing Vlogmas. I'm gonna try to do it. You know, Vlogmas is during my my final season, so as a student, I'm gonna be trying my best. One thing I should say is that y'all should see this setup that I have you on, because this is hilarious, right? So right now I got you sitting on my air fryer, and then on top of that I have my cup that I got when I was a bridesmaid. Y'all are sitting on the straw. So this is kind of hilarious. Listen, I'm going to try my best to do Vlogmas. I have a schedule that I have going on. Like, I'm not gonna do every single day, but I have a schedule that I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna tell anybody, because if I don't do it, y'all won't know. So like, listen, I'm gonna try to keep myself accountable. This is one step to becoming more consistent. So today, as you saw in the title, I'm gonna be talking about something a little bit different today. I'm gonna be cooking because I was meal prepping earlier, and I'm gonna show y'all what I was making. I was making jerk chicken pasta, but kind of like a little bit Mont Blanc-ish, you know what I mean? Like, and look it up if y'all don't know what that means, but like, I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm kind of doing like a little bit of a lactose free version of jerk chicken pasta, and my stuff comes out fire. There is this cheese brand that I don't really like, but Cabot, I think, or Cabo, I don't know if you pronounce the T, that cheese or fake cheese is really good. So this is my jerk chicken pasta, and this is like my, you can barely see it, and I hope that doesn't piss any Jamaicans off, but whatever, it's good. So as you can see, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm in my kitchen, I'm cooking, but I made way too much pasta. So I separated some bits of pasta because I basically, in and of itself, didn't want to put too much pasta in the bin when there wasn't enough, and there was only like a little bit pieces of chicken. So I was like, let me just de-thaw my shrimp, and then while I'm de-thawing my shrimp and recutting vegetables at 9:55 p.m. when I need to get my ass to bed and do my hair, I'm gonna film. So let's see. So I'm about to cut up some more onions, I'm about to cut up some more bell peppers, etc., and just make like, I'm gonna make the same thing, but I'm gonna make shrimp jerk pasta, or jerk shrimp pasta, and then I'll just have that for dinner. I'll keep it separate, whatever, keep it in a different container. It really ain't no big deal, right? One thing that I wanted to come here and talk about is because I'm so sorry about it. I'm gonna be one of those people on the internet that's annoying and talking about relationships. Like, it is what it is. Excuse me. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna do it only because this topic was interesting to me. And I've been circling about like, I've been circling around this topic of like submission, right? And so a lot of people, when they hear that word, they're like, oh, don't say that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to submit to nobody, X, Y, and Z. Because in and of itself, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like we're going back. Like, we didn't just fight hundreds of years getting out of oppression, not even getting out of it. Like, we're continuously fighting. And then like, now you want to talk about, now we got to be submissive. So me, myself, and I want to talk about submission within the parameters, okay, Britney Spears, within the parameters of a relationship specifically. And the only reason why I'm not even like gonna be providing any type of value, I'm just gonna be throwing ideas off of you, and I want you to let me know what you think down in the comments below. So first, please give me a big thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to this channel, because you know you love it here, so keep it coming. And let's just get into the topic. So mind you, don't forget, like, I'm going to be cutting, so I'm not really going to be looking at the camera. So I was watching this video earlier talking about submission, and how this woman was like, she really likes to submit to her man because that's just her nature. She likes to cater to people. She naturally caters to people. She naturally puts others' feelings before her own. And she was okay with that, right? Like, she was okay with that, which was why it made sense why she was submissive in her relationship. And given like this whole topic of submission has been like a ridiculous topic because everyone's like, why am I going to submit to a man? What are you providing to me to make me want to submit to you? And why do you think I'm going to be the one to do it, right? Like, are you providing me stability? Are you providing me trust? Like, if I leave things alone, do I know that you got it? Like, that's like the number one biggest question that people have, or that women have. Let me just speak for myself. When regarding dating men, because it's like, how can you expect me to submit to you if you can't even like low key hold it down? Like, what am I submitting to? Destruction, chaos, foolery? Like, what exactly do you want me to submit to, sir, when you and I both can't pay the bills? I'm in law school. What you do? You and I both can't pay the bills. So what's the real tea? What you talking about, like submission, right? And so that's just like, ooh, full disclaimer. I'm not talking about my relationship. Like, let me just put that out there now. I'm just like, when I talk about my relationship specifically, I'll say it, but like, that's just like, I'm just giving context or giving examples, right? So that's basically what you hear. Like, what is the reason to submit if you're not providing an environment to where I would be willing to submit to you? And I agree with that 110%. But at the same time, okay, so about me, I'm a woman that naturally thinks about other people before myself. And I have learned to kind of a little bit unlearn that. Like, it's just innate in me that I put the people that I love before my own needs, because it's like, I'm gonna get to my own needs when I get to it. But right now we're gonna focus on you. And I'm okay with that, right? To a certain extent. Like, I'm not entirely okay with it to the point to where like, I'm gonna allow you to take advantage of me, right? And in this video that I saw, this was a video that was done like approximately a year ago. It was on the Lovers and Friends podcast. And the woman, I think her name was Jasmine. I have to I'll correct it or put a voiceover for whatever that I'm trying to remember her name was. But I just watched it. I knew it blew up like a while ago, but I just watched it. And what she was saying was like, she's not even, what she said that got me, it was like, based off the questions that was asked to her, was like, are you sure that your man got you like how you got him? And she's just like, I don't know if he knows me 110% like I know him. And then she was like, she doesn't really care if she gets anything in return. She's just happy to basically be there for him, be his backbone, be his support system. And for me, my thing is that I am very big on support. I'm very big on being there for the person that I love. Like, that's my love language. Like, the way that I show you that I love you is with support. You know that I'm going to be there for you no matter what. Like, there is no question in your mind that Whitney's not going to be there. Oftentimes I have felt like devalued or undervalued because I felt that I've been taken advantage of, because sometimes in the relationship that I've been in, people are like, oh, Whitney's always going to be there. So it doesn't matter if I ditch her for this, or if I screw her over for that, if I cheat on her, blah, blah, she's always going to be there, right? And my first question to y'all is there a difference between that and submission? So, like, for example, always being there. Am I submitting to somebody who cheats on me? Like, is that okay, right? Is that a problem that I will always be there? And so it comes to a point to where like I had to learn how to have self-respect for myself, right? And you could have self-respect and still be submissive to whoever you want to be to. But to me, in my eyes, because maybe I've taken it too far, or maybe I've done it to the point to where I didn't have any boundaries for myself, I had to kind of unlearn that behavior a little bit. So even though like I still do it to this day, I'm kind of like, no, I need something in return. And I don't even want to say it like that, right? Because that sounds bad. Because what I'm saying is like, I don't do things so that, oh, there goes a bell pepper. Put that bitch right back. So I don't do things just so I can get something in return, right? Like, I genuinely do things for the person because I love them. Like, I want them to know that I'm here for them. I'm supporting them. I'm like, that's, like I said, that's just how I show love. And in the past, like I said, in the past I've been taken advantage of. In the past I was cheated on. In the past, like, it's like Whitney is always going to be there, so it don't really matter if I do bop bop bop, because she's just going to be there. Like, I know she's gonna have my back. I know she's gonna forgive me. Like, and I know that she got it at the end of the day. Like, that's what's been said to me before. Like, one thing about you is that you gonna be there. And this one person said this to me one day. She was saying it as a compliment, and I know she didn't mean it as an insult, but I kind of took it that way. So she said, the reason why I like Whitney is because Whitney will do anything and everything for anybody. And basically what she was saying is that I'm a very generous person, right? And I don't care what it is. Like, I'll do, if you need me, I'll be there for you. And I like that about me. But what I don't like is that people would take advantage of that. Like, it's so easy to take advantage of that type of person. And so now I'm getting to the point that I'm trying to make is in a relationship, for me, okay, let me put it like this then. This is the point that I'm trying to make. So the person said, and I've heard this multiple times from women who identify as being submissive to their man. For them, they're basically saying like, I don't mind serving my man. And to me, that's where I have a problem. Because to me, based off of my background, let me put it like this, right? Like, I feel like when you say that you're submitting to a man, there has to be some sort of religious background to that. If you don't have like a religious background, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in the Bible, if you don't believe in what God said about submitting to a man, or you're the woman is the neck, the man is the head, where is that submission coming from, right? So I guess I'm mainly targeting the women who say that they are submissive to their man, who also believe in Christ, right? I think that's mainly my target audience, because I can't fathom anyone saying like, yeah, I'm going to submit to my man and then not believe in God as well. Like, maybe that's just an ignorance on myself. Like, no, it is an ignorance of myself, because where does it come from then? Why do you want to submit to him? Is it true submission, or you just don't want to do anything? Like, are you okay with just being at the house? Like, well, okay, I guess that's it. Like, women who stay in the home, who are like, the word is escaping me. I keep on saying work from home. Stay at home mom. So like, okay, fair. Okay. Basically answer my own question. People who are stay at home parents and submit to their other partner who brings in the money, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. That makes sense. All right. Anyways. So I guess I'm talking to everybody. No, mainly talking to the religious people. Whatever, I don't care. Anyways, so my thing, I come from a religious background, right? And I believe, yes, I do believe in submitting. I'm not cutting shit. Yes, I do believe in submitting to a man. But I don't believe when we come together, right? When we come together and we create a beautiful thing, a beautiful relationship, we get married, I am not going to show you everything of me. Like, I'm not going to be 110% submissive, because I feel like those are wifely duties. And yes, I'm going to show you my wifely duties beforehand, because it's like, how do you know? Like, basically, I'm not going to want my man to start leading when he becomes my husband. I want him to start leading now, so I can know that when we become one, like, he got it. Like, I know that for the rest of my life, we're straight. And so that way I would be comfortable buying a house with him. That way I would be comfortable having his kids. Like, there's more to it, which is why you need to see a lot now during the dating phase, as opposed to when y'all married, right? But there's still a little bit of boundaries there when you're not married. So that's what I'm trying to say with like, I'm not going to show like 110%, even though like I kind of do. So when I say that I am submitting to my man, I don't even feel like I'm submitting to him. What I feel like I'm doing is that I'm submitting to Christ. Why? Because Christ said to me that, well, he said to the man, go out and find a wife. When you find a wife, you find a good thing, create your home, leave your parents' house, start a new one, create a new foundation. You are the head, the woman is the neck, y'all multiply, right? Like, whatever was said first or last, I don't really know. But like, that's what I genuinely believe. So when people say they submit to their man, I'm like, do you submit to your man, or do you submit to Christ? And that's how I see it. I don't serve my man, I'm serving Christ, because Christ gave me a position, a role. Christ gave him a position and a role, and we're just obeying his word. We're just seeing fit. We're doing what we were on this planet, what we've been put on this planet to do. God, first of all, I prayed for a man and God delivered. So what do I look like not submitting to what I prayed for? Not being proud of or being happy for what I have, right? Like, showing my blessing, how much I appreciate that. So when people say, like, when this whole hoopla of like, oh, submission, I'm like, who do y'all follow? And not to sound mad like religious or anything like that, because I personally don't like to identify as super religious. I'm more so of a spiritual person. But for me, I'm like, the word submission doesn't make me run, because I'm not submitting to man, I'm submitting to Christ. Like, and even then with that, I don't know. I just feel like there can't be two kings in the household. There can't be two queens in the household. There has to be someone that is and there can't be two dominant people. There can't be two submissive people in the household. Y'all will get nothing done. Like, there has to be someone who's willing to yield, who's willing to follow the mission of the other person, who's willing to allow someone to lead, and then you set the example to whoever you bring into this world. If you're willing to bring someone in this world, you set the example, right? But then there's also moments where it's like, some moments you're submitting and some moments he's submitting, right? So, like, for example, strong thing. My boyfriend can't plan. Like, it gives him way too much anxiety. He can't plan, right? So whenever he has to plan something, he asks me for help, because he knows that it's not his strong suit, like, not even a little bit. So anything that I say, anything that I do when it comes to planning, he does it because he knows I'm good at planning. In that moment, he is submitting to me because he's allowing me to be the leader in this situation, so that way we can move forward. Because best believe, if he forgets another, no, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm joking, but like, it's just some things you're good at versus some things you're not. And I'm okay with submitting to certain, I told my man, I was like, so we've been dating for a little bit over a year, not that much, but so we're getting to the point to where it's like, it's serious, you got to talk about these things. And for me, I'm just kind of like I told him, like, I'm trying to, like, because he told me I tell too much of our business, so I'm trying to be careful with what I say, right? So I told him that I am like, maybe I'll just take this out if you don't like it. So I told him, like, I am begging for you to allow me to be submissive, because we have an issue in our relationship where, like, he is very carefree and I am not. So here's the care spectrum. Here's the middle. He's here and I'm here. And it's very hard for us to meet in the middle, because I don't know what the middle look like, and I don't think he knows what the middle look like. So a lot of the times I take the step forward, or I take the position that God has given to him, because I'm like, in that position as a leader, and I'm like, well, you're not doing, so I'm gonna do it. Prevention over the cure. And he's like, yo, if a problem arises, like, we got it, right? And I'm like, but a problem should arise. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times I'm like moving off of anxiety, but we've had this conversation where I'm like, I don't want to move off of anxiety. I want to know that you got it. And my problem is learning that not every leader looks the same, right? So in my past, I have experience with, let me put the butter in here. I've experienced with men who basically were all the same. They were very dominant. They were very like, I'm the manly man. Like, I don't eat bananas, nigga. Like that type of guy, right? Like, very like macho men. They probably watch Andrew Tate now. Like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, those are the type of men that I have been used to, because I personally like, how do I say this? Being dominated? I don't know if I want to say it like that, but like, I personally like that dynamic of me being like, I know that I got it. If something happens to where you are just can't, for sure that I got it. I am choosing to take a back seat, because solely because I don't mind being the neck. And one, I don't mind being the neck. Two, God put me in the neck position, and I don't mind that either. Like, I'm okay. I like sometimes I just like being the passenger princess. Like, I really like doing that, because I know for sure you got it. Like, we both got it. And that's the important thing. So if we had to decide between which one of us gotta be the leader, you got it. Like, it's all yours. Editing Whitney coming in. So what I'm trying to say here is, like, of course I don't mind being the leader, because I've constantly have been the leader, right? Like, where I have a toxic trait where I'm controlling, right? Because it comes out of fear. So whenever my fear presents itself, baby girl steps into the leader position with no issue. What I'm trying to say is that I oftentimes don't want to be the leader. Like, I want to lead my kids, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But I don't always want to lead certain things, right? And so because God didn't necessarily put me in that position, I'm okay with that. Personally, for me in a relationship, I don't want to be the number one leader. Like, that, it sounds so horrible saying it like that. Like, I want to be a team is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to do shit by myself. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here, just in case that didn't come across great. There are different forms, different ways, different personality types that makes a leader. And like, for example, so the difference between my boyfriend now is that he's not overtly dominant, right? Like, he's dominant, don't get me wrong, but he's not like in your face dominant. Like, I'm the type of man that I used to date was like very aggressive, very like I said, macho man. Like, you know, like when they walk into the room, you know they in the room. My man now is very quiet, very he's not timid, but he's like, if he don't know you, you won't know he's there. And the only reason why you know he's there is because he's beautiful. Like, that's like, you look at him like, oh, that's a good looking man, but he don't speak much because it's like he feels like his actions speak louder than his words. And that's big facts, right? He already knows that his presence is known, and if it's not known, then it don't have to be, right? Like, at the end of the day, he doesn't let nobody play him. At the end of the day, he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody, which is what I genuinely appreciate. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it drives me nuts because, one, it's not something I'm used to. Two, I'm like, he's very soft-spoken, so I'm like, speak up, like, I can't hear you, right? I'm like, assert your dominance. But at the end of the day, I have to realize, like, he is still leading, he is still being dominant. It's just different. And that's another reason why I feel like God has sent him, because like, he's completely different from everything else that I used to date. When I was in control, they all look the same. When he's in control, they don't look the same, bitch. So like, I'm okay with that. So I'm being funny now. The point that I'm trying to make, and one thing that I want to hear about your input, is, what does submission look like to you? What does it look like under the eyes of God? Are you still kind of fighting that, like the whole godly viewpoint? I mean, the whole submission viewpoint, because even if you are a follower of Christ, are you still fighting that viewpoint, even though you know that God said that the women should submit to the men? Like, what is your view on that whole submission topic? First of all, this is going to be the first and last time, maybe, because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but as of right now, I'm going to try to put it out into the air. This is going to be the first and last time we talk about submission and whatever, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, okay. So what do you think about submission? What do you think about it in the context of a religious standpoint? If you follow Christ and you don't believe in submitting to a man, why? Or submitting to your dominant partner if you're dating somebody who doesn't fall within the dynamic diaspora. Like, if you don't fall within the heterosexual norm of a relationship, what does your relationship look like? Do you submit? Do you believe in Christ and are in a same-sex relationship, or even a polyamorous relationship, or even like someone who identifies as more than one gender, or someone who identifies as neither gender? What does it look like for you? Are you still submitting to the person that is more dominant? And if so, why? So like I was saying, right, let me know what it looks like to you. Let me know your thoughts on what I said. I did not think this video was going to be this long, but it is what it is. Love y'all. Y'all take it easy. Happy December, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. I love y'all. Remember, we help everyone and anyone, even if it is just one person. So hopefully I opened up your mind in some way, shape, or form, or fashion. If you have any questions about law school, any questions on this topic, leave it down in the comments below. Please send out my videos to whoever, so that way we can get a little bit more traction. I've been loving the feedback. I've been loving the comments. I've been loving the new subscribers. How y'all doing? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't say nothing about my messy kitchen. I told y'all I'm cooking. All right. So I'll see you in my next one.